Welcome to another season of Tobs Talk, everyone. My name is Riley Corcoran, the new voice of the Tobs this year, the Director of Media Relations and Broadcasting with the team. You'll be hearing me if you listen to the games online, also be watching them maybe on WIG TV, of course, every time here on Tobs Talk on Greenlight. Looking forward to another season. I'm telling you, there's a lot of great players that you're going to hopefully connect with, and hopefully we can bridge the gap for you as well. A couple great stories in there, some local players that you're going to hear about even in this episode, Collins Cuthro, as well as Zach Lee, a new coach, just a totally new face of the franchise here for the Wilson Tobs. Everyone's looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to another great season with Tobs Talk as well. As far as tonight's concerned, Slugger's reveal party. Boy, everybody is gearing up for this. He has went into spring training. The Jeff Price Agency, Farm Bureau Insurance, everyone's gotten behind Slugger to get him ready to go for tonight. So make sure you're there a little bit early. I know that, I guess, time's getting short. It's 6:30 right now, but make sure you hurry up to the ballpark and watch Slugger's reveal. Also, ladies' night tonight, discount for ladies to get in the door. We'd love to have a record crowd. We're expecting close to 1,500, maybe 2,000 people at historic Fleming Stadium tonight. I know last year it was about 850 people, so we're really trying to revamp that up this year. We hope to see you at the ballpark. So many great promotions going out throughout the whole season. So be tuned in to our website, wilsontobs.com, our Facebook page, as well as Twitter, Instagram, all the works, as well as Tobs Talk. We'll keep you informed on that. Every single night we will have an event surrounding the game, so you'll have an off-the-field event as well as what happens on the field. As far as tonight's matchup, the Edenton Steamers come in, and boy, the class of the Coastal Plain League has been Edenton the last couple of years. 9 straight winning seasons, 9 straight playoff appearances. They come into historic Fleming Stadium, where they have kind of owned the Tobs the last couple of years. So we'll see how the Tobs can do tonight and tomorrow. They open the season. They'll play tonight against Edenton at home, of course, and then tomorrow at Edenton. So back-to-back games. The pitching matchup tonight, Eric Peterson will go for Edenton against JT Brubaker for the Tobs. JT Brubaker, a stud from Akron, a tall right-handed pitcher, can go 88 to 90 miles an hour. Struggled a bit as far as ERA is concerned, but he was the #1 starter, so he ran into a couple tough matchups pitching at Akron last year. For Eric Peterson for Edenton tonight, he was the #1 starter for Temple University. So a couple aces going on the mound. We should have a great pitching matchup and a great show lined up for you here on Tobs Talk. Next, we'll talk with Coach Austin Love. You'll get to the background on him and why he came to Wilson, the connection with what he had with the Coastal Plain League before, where he has coached in the past. We'll talk with the 2 returners, Zach Lee and Collins Cuthro. Get to know a little bit of how their seasons went this year, why they came back to the Tobs, and maybe the change in culture this year, how you can tell already in just the first 3 days. Of course, we'll talk with our great sponsor, Jeff Price from Farm Bureau Insurance, why he got behind the Slugger reveal party, everything that goes along with that, as well as a preview of tonight's game, in-depth more with Matt Micah, the director of, the assistant director, rather, of broadcasting and media relations. So a great show lined up for you. Stay tuned. This is Tobs Talk on Greenlight. Welcome back to Tobs Talk on Greenlight. Riley Corcoran, pleased to be joined by Austin Love, the new head coach of the Wilson Tobs. Coach, thanks for joining me here today.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
I'm glad to be here.
Opening day finally here. I know that you can't wait to get on the field and play baseball, let everything else take care of itself, but I know that fans want to know a little bit more about you, just the basics. It's the first time, of course, but tell the fans a little bit more of your background, coaching background, and how you came to Wilson. I
coached Division I baseball at North Carolina A&T for 7 years. I was the Thomasville High Tom for Greg Swear in 2001, and around the fall this year, he approached me about the job and came down and visited with Thomas Webb and Robin Hooser, and loved the field, the city, and everything, the vibe that I got. So I'm here.
All right. So why Wilson? I mean, because of the atmosphere, and obviously you know Greg a little bit with having that relationship. But was that the main draw to Wilson? I mean, just the connection with Greg, as long as the community itself.
More so the community, the small town feel. Like I said, the ballpark reminds me of where I played in college. The accountability that I think that the city puts on the team and the coaching staff and the organization, and also the league itself, to be able to coach the young men that we get the opportunity to work with. I think the level of the game is pretty high, and I'm getting to coach some kids that I recruited and missed out on at some point, or just kids that I've watched play that I just wanted to, write their names down in the lineup before.
Right.
So it's going to be pretty fun.
I know everyone's excited to have you here, a new start for Wilson Tobs baseball. And let's get into the roster a tad, and just 21 guys here tonight for opening roster. I know that there's going to be more trickle in, but what are your initial thoughts on the guys that you've seen on the field, what you've put together so far? A couple returners, of course, some big names in there, some hidden gems, but there's one common theme with motivated players. I know that was something that was that you wanted when you wanted to bring players here into Wilson, but what do you think of the roster so far?
We're very, very pleased. We feel like we're short in a little areas because it is early, and we've got some young men competing in the field of 64. But we're very pleased with the chemistry. As you stated, our main goal was to bring in young men of character who wanted to be committed. I know last season the turnover for the roster was pretty rough, and even just talking to the players that were here last year, they felt like that hurt them to a degree as far as moving forward and winning games, and they would lose a guy going home, stuff like that. So we really try to find players who are committed to being here for the summer with a bit of a chip on their shoulder. Some guys played a lot and are just looking to showcase their ability at a high level. Some guys didn't play a lot and they're looking to prove that they should be playing more. So we got a good mix of guys, and so far the young men have gelled together well, so we're hoping that carries over into tonight in the season.
And also, you look at the roster so far, everyone that's come together, the pitchers, I know that might be a little bid thin, but what have you thought about practice the last 3 days? I know that you guys were able to work out a bit, something that in years past may have not been the case here in Wilson, but what do you think of the first 3 days, what you saw in practice?
Everybody's healthy, so that's the main thing. You go through a workout, you get some work in. As the season goes on, these guys get the wood in their hands. They get into a routine. They're going to play well. As far as the practices, more than anything, it's just getting out there and getting the work in. Some guys are coming from far away, Illinois, Ohio, so they can just get in the mix. Get a good night's rest, and then come out, work in, kind of get into a routine of what we're trying to do. So the practices and workouts have went pretty well. They haven't been too strenuous, because it is a long season. So more than anything, like I said, it's just guys feeling the rhythm of each other and how they play together and things like that.
You worried about first game jitters for the players, and how about for you, coaching staff as well?
No, I'm not really worried about any jitters. I personally am just ready to get into the season and get. Games 2, 3, and 4 are going to be more fun for me than game 1. I think game 1 is a necessary evil that everybody wants to pump up. I want people to be out there games 2, 3, and 4, because as we play together longer, we're going to get better together. And as we learn the players and learn their personalities and what situations use them in, I think we're going to be okay.
And I know that winning is going to be a huge focus. I know in your household, what'd you say? You spell win, F-U-N, is that right?
No, we spell fun.
Oh,
W-I-N.
Oh, okay. Well, I had it somewhere around there. But as far as tonight, is there one stat maybe you're looking for, one part of the game that you want the Tobs to do well that you think might equate to a victory? Or again, the first game, you just throw it all out there and see what happens?
We want our pitchers to throw strikes. We want our offensive players to be aggressive. That's the main goal. If we're going to make a mistake, one mistake on being aggressive and always being on the offensive, whether it's throwing strikes and being offensive, attacking the zone, or whether it's being aggressive, trying to take the extra base, or getting our cutoff. So we're going to be aggressive no matter what we do, and we think that's going to help us win games.
Tobs head coach Austin Love joining me here on Tobs Talk on Greenlight. First pitch coming up just shortly now against the Eatonton Steamers. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Tobs Talk on Greenlight. Riley Corcoran, voice of the Tobs, with Zach Lee and Collins Cuthrill, the two returners this year. We just got done speaking with Coach Love, getting ready for the season, and I know that a lot of fans want the returners to come back, and you two are, I know we've talked about it in the last couple of days, the hometown heroes, so to speak, and playing for Wilson. And Zach, we'll start with you. Let's talk a bit about last year and your baseball, what happened at North Carolina Central. We were able to play at the Division I level. Huge step from last season, what you're able to do. Tell the fans a little bit about how your season went.
Yeah, I signed with North Carolina Central last year out of Wake Tech Community College, and I went in with high hopes, and we didn't do as well as we wanted to at the end. Our goal was to play into a regional. We made it to the semifinals of our conference tournament, and we're very close to getting in. And a team we actually took 2 out of 3 from actually won our conference tournament and is playing in Florida State's regional right now, which it could be us. We were that close. But it was a good year. I got hurt towards the end. I missed the conference tournament. But if we had made it to the regional, I would have been cleared to play. But it was a good experience, and I'm looking forward to this summer now. And
briefly about the injury, just so our fans know, I mean, there was something where we thought it was going to be 8 weeks. You got overdiagnosed at first, and that'd be a little bit weird the last couple weeks for you. Now you're 100% ready to go.
Yeah, I was through our team doctors. They before X-rays and MRIs happened, they saw the swelling and whatnot. I got the X-ray, I got the MRI, and they looked at it, but it wasn't a foot specialist, and they diagnosed me. They said you probably need 8 to 12 weeks. So I called Thomas and Coach Love and told him, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to play. I went and saw the foot specialist, and he said it was a stress fracture, and to treat it, you put it on a boot for about 3 weeks and let it rest and test it after that, and usually it's fine, and that's what happened, and luckily I'll be able to play this summer.
Well, we're all looking forward to that, hopefully in the starting lineup tonight. And now as you pass the mic over to Collins, playing just down the street here at Barton College, how'd the year go for you? Your junior season, I believe. How did it go for you?
I mean, it went pretty well. Could have been a little bit better record-wise, but we had a good time. Made a couple memories. Just came up a little short in the conference tournament. We got skipped over a little bit. We swept a team that got in above us, but they had a better winning percentage or something like that, and so we missed out on that.
All right, well, you get to play more this summer. I'll go next question to you first. You guys don't have to keep passing back and forth that mic, but why come back to the Wilson Tobs this year? I know that, again, you guys are just the two returners. I know some teams have maybe a little bit more, but you were the two mainstays coming back. Why? Well, I guess what was the main reason for you, and did you make the decision pretty early?
Yeah, my decision came pretty early to come back. Thomas had talked to me about coming back like a little bit toward the end of the summer last season, and I had a good time, a lot of fun playing with Zach. We played each other a lot in high school, so it's fun being on the same team as him.
And from Rocky Mount, just to make sure, just the people that don't know. And Zach, same question for you. When did that process, the decision process, go through when you said, hey, I'm going to come back and play for the Tobs? I know we had talked briefly about it the last couple of days, but how much pride you take in coming back here and playing?
Big pride. Obviously, I'm a hometown kid. Grew up coming to the
Hunt High School, right?
Hunt High School, yes, sir, right down the road. But it was the same thing with Collins. He asked me also towards the end of the summer, and I think we took pride, in playing in our community, and the fact that we were one of the few that stuck it out all summer, didn't quit, didn't say, hey, we want to stop playing, I think it spoke a lot, and that's why they asked us back.
And again, excited to have you guys back, hopefully in the starting lineup tonight for our fans. Zach Lee and Collins Cuthrell joining me. And Zach, for you, right now, 3 days. I know it's just been a couple of days you've been around these new guys, but tell us, if you can, the difference already from this year to last year, the culture around the team, the atmosphere with Coach Love involved. And I know last year there were some struggles towards the end of it, but I guess that might be an understatement. Yeah. But just tell our fans a little bit about the difference already, the positive energy this year around the team.
First of all, I think Coach Love, big time. We had an older coach last year, and somebody who wasn't as hungry, I guess, as you could say, as Coach Love. And Coach Love's a younger guy. He's closer to our age than the guy last summer. And he can relate to us. He wants to make this fun, but he also wants to help us grow as baseball players and as young men. So I can already tell a big difference. And
for you, Collins, what are you looking forward to most this season? Getting on the field. I know you're one of the guys that you can't wait to get on the field and play, and all the stuff beforehand, just ready to get out in there and play. But what are you looking forward to the most?
Just getting back out there. It's been a while since I played. Probably about a month now, but just opening day is always fun. Yeah. Get to see fans out there, my family finally coming back to watch me play. I'm sure they're just as excited as we are to get back onto the field.
We're all excited. At first pitch just a few minutes away now. Zach Lee, Collins Cuthrell, the two Tobs returners this season for 2013. We'll be right back. This is Tobs Talk on Greenlight. And welcome back to Tobs Talk on Greenlight. Riley Corcoran, pleased to be joined by Jeff Price from Farm Bureau Insurance, our huge sponsor for tonight. Jeff, thanks for coming down. And
oh, thank you. We're just so excited. It's opening day, and we're ready to play some baseball. At the Christmas parade, we were saying baseball is right around the corner, and it is here.
Oh, boy, and it came fast the last week for us. We're very excited. And Slugger's Reveal. I know a lot of things are going to happen on the field tonight, but the big thing off the field is Slugger's Reveal, and we know how big of a part that you played in that, and the Tobs can't thank you enough. But how did you get involved with that process, and what made you, put your foot forward and go, hey, I want to help out?
Well, they first mentioned, that Slugger, wanted to work on his weight and get in shape. And I said, well, Blue Cross Blue Shield is a company we represent. And I said, we can certainly provide a program, a venue to help him get in shape with the right health insurance. And Blue Cross is really good about being able to talk to people about what they need to do to get in shape and the right diet and right exercise program. So I think you're going to see a lean, mean, slugging machine tonight out there. Slugger's coming, and it's going to be great.
Oh, he's going to be a force all year long. Might have to get him to pinch hit maybe a couple times. I'll have to talk to Coach Love about that.
Oh, that would be sweet. That would be sweet.
And also, I mean, for you, you've been a long-time Tobs supporter, and we need people like you in this town and people that love to get behind the team. What has made you such a long-time supporter of the Tobs and being with them year after year?
We love the Tobs because it's a community activity. It reaches all levels of people. It's just a fun venue. You feel like your children can play there and catch a foul ball and they're safe. We love the players that come. There's just something about historic Fleming Stadium that we are so privileged in Wilson to have a fabulous facility such as historic Fleming Stadium, and we want to be a part of that any way that we can.
And again, our title sponsor for tonight, Jeff Price, Farm Bureau Insurance, and also give the fans out there contact information for you and the best way to contact you.
Well, just want you to know that we've got 7 really great career agents at our office. Wish that you would call any one of them. We've got Vincent Lively, Chris Davis, Elton Franks, Joey Page, Lori Thomas, and Clint Godwin. Myself, Jeff Price. We have a lot of years of experience. Our CSR staff, we have a CSR that's been with us 48 years. Wow. So we have a lot of experience in our office, but we sell all personal lines of insurance, automobile, homeowners, life, Blue Cross Blue Shield, any kind of ag and or crop insurance, life insurance. We've got it, so come see us and we can make it happen.
Well, perfect. Jeff, thanks again for being such a great sponsor of the Tobs.
Thank you.
Look forward to seeing you tonight. We'll come back and preview the game up next. Tobs Talk on Greenlight. Welcome back to Tobs Talk on Greenlight. Riley Corcoran joined by Matt Micah, the Assistant Director of Broadcasting and Media Relations for the Wilson Tobs this year. So we've talked with Coach, we've talked with a couple of players, we've talked with our sponsor tonight, Jeff Price. Now it's time to preview the game tonight against the Edenton Steamers. Finally, it seems like, wow, with everything else going on, there's actually a game to be played, Matt. The last couple of days, I know it's been a whirlwind for all of us, but for you, I mean, getting everybody ready and just snapping pictures all the time, it seems like Matt's in charge of our social media this year. So tell fans what it's been like the last couple of days for you, I guess, Matt.
It's been an absolute blast, absolute blast coming down here the past couple of weeks. Being in charge of social media, I want to get the information out there to the public. I want to develop a relationship with the public, with the fans, with the team. Follow us on Twitter at Wilson Tobs and Instagram as well at Wilson Tobs, and you can check out cool photos, cool tweets. I'll be tweeting during the game with if there's a home run blast, I'll be tweeting that. Okay. So you can, if you're not at the game, you can follow us on Twitter and you can get all the up-to-date scores.
And also like us on Facebook as well. So many different ways to get involved with the Tobs this year, and I know that maybe some people saying, well, okay, we do that. There's not that many updates. But this year, you're totally going to revamp that. I know that you're going to be constantly on it nonstop. Instagram, just to tell people a little bit differently, you're going to be snapping pictures, everything else, getting people inside the opposing team's ballparks as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, when we're on the road and you're not at the game, I'll be snapping pictures, BP, in-game action pictures with new filters and stuff like that. So follow us on Instagram, and it's going to be an absolute blast this year.
So that's the social media part of things. Now we're going to transition to the game itself. And I know we've talked with Zach and Collins and getting ready for the game tonight. And there may be a couple guys that, are favorites so far that I know are going to be fan favorites. But for you, is there anyone that stood out? I know that you played at Akron. You played baseball at Akron. So a couple players, we have 3 of them from the Zips, the Akron Zips, by the way. But who has stood out to you so far, guys that you think might make an impact?
JT Brubaker. I pitched for Akron, and he's from Akron. He pitches there his freshman year. So I definitely know what he went through, freshman year. It's the jump from high school to college is humongous, especially at the Division I level. So when then going into the summer league, I played at the New York Pilots in a wood bat league up in New York, and we won the championship there. And so for him to come back and play in this league, it's going to be a great experience for him. I'm excited to watch.
As a player, I mean, yes, everyone knows what the Wilson Tobs are about. They play, obviously, it's just June and July, it's just a constant grind. But as a player, kind of bridge the gap for us. You're in that unique spot where you were a player, now you're on the media relations side of things. But what's it like being a player in one of these collegiate summer leagues? I mean, you're wide-eyed, you see so many different players, you see so many different things, maybe a different atmosphere. What's it like as a player?
It's an absolute blast because you're playing with that best of the best, in these leagues. And not just you're playing with them, you're playing against them too. And as an athlete, you want to play against the best. You're competitive nature is going to increase. It's going to skyrocket. So you definitely want to play with the best, and you're playing with the best, and the team chemistry is going to be huge. You know, just building that camaraderie with everyone.
And you've been down in the dugout as well.
Yeah.
What do you think about this team camaraderie so far? I mean, again, last year we weren't here, so we're not quite sure too much of what it was about, but we know this team is gelled already. These are 21 guys that essentially have never played against each other, never known of one another, and all of a sudden they're immediate teammates within 3 days. I thought it's been pretty well. What do you think so far?
It's been great. They're hilarious. They're absolutely hilarious. Yesterday when they were taking BP at the first pitch dinner, they're cracking jokes. They're putting their hats on backwards, trying to hit home runs and stuff like that. It's been an absolute blast.
I think it's going to be fun for fans to relate with the players this year, try and get everything back together, and for the Wilson Tobs, hopefully get some wins on the board as well again against the Edenton Steamers. We're going to wrap up the show next. This is Tobs Talk on Greenlight. That's going to do it for our first show of Tobs Talk this year on Greenlight. Riley Corker reminding you to come to the park tonight. JT Brubaker, Eric Peterson, the pitching matchup as the Tobs will take on Edenton. And we'll see you back here on Thursday for another edition of Tobs Talk.